Today we're going to discuss section 111, inequalities. This should be a review from pre-algebra, so we'll go through the notes fairly quickly and you'll have some problems to work for tomorrow. So with inequalities, we have some rules that we follow for graphing the inequalities. First of all, we use an open circle for less than or greater than signs. And we use a closed circle for less than or equal to, greater than or equal to signs. Remember that the closed circle means that the number is going to be included. The number that the dot is on is going to be included. The open circle means that it is not, and we'll try to talk about that as we go along. So graph the following inequalities on a number line. We have x is less than 3. Because it's less than, we're going to use an open circle, and we're going to use an open circle on the 3. So basically what that means is that the 3 is not included in the answer on the number line. If it's less than 3, the numbers less than 3 are going to be to the left on the number line. You might notice they also follow the same way that the arrow points on your symbol. Number 3, x is greater than or equal to 4. Because it's greater than or equal to, we'll use a closed circle on the 4, which means that the 4 is going to be included in the answer because of the equal to. The symbol points to the right, and we should also know that the numbers to the right are going to be greater than or equal to 4. So we'll go ahead and draw our arrow to the right. Take just a minute, pause the video, work problems 2 and 4, and come back for the answers. Okay, you should be done with problems 2 and 4. Problem 2 says x is greater than -1. Because it's greater than, we're going to use an open circle, and it points to the right, so we know also that the numbers to the right are greater than -1. For number 4, you should have had a closed circle on the -6, and the numbers less than or equal are going to be to the left, and the symbol also points to the left. So hopefully you got those correct. Number 5, let's look at these. These are going to go backwards. They give us the graph, and they want us to write the inequality. So here we've got x and we've got 13. We have an open circle, so we know it's either going to be a less than or a greater than. And because the numbers are to the left, we know it's going to be less than, so x is less than 13. Number 7, we have a closed circle on the -16, so we know we've got an x and a -16, and we know it's going to be less than equal to or greater than equal to. And so we know that the numbers to the left are less than or equal to, so we'll go ahead and put a less than or equal to here. Take a couple minutes, pause the video, and see if you can work problems 6 and 8. Okay, you should be back from working problems 6 and 8. And the answer for number 6 is going to be x is greater than or equal to 7. And the answer for number 8 is x is greater than 10. If you didn't get those right, see if you can figure out what you did incorrect, and if not, then we can talk about them tomorrow in class. Down at the bottom, we have rules for solving inequalities. In order to solve inequalities, we have to flip the inequality symbol when we multiply or divide by a negative number. That's going to be an important rule, and I'm sure that you learned it last year, so it's review, but it's something that's very easy to forget, so we need to highlight that to remind ourselves that this is going to be very important. If you forget to do it, you're going to get the wrong answer each time. So let's try to remind ourselves of this rule. All right, so number 9, we're going to solve number 9. 3x plus 2 is less than -4, and we solve these the same as we solve equations, except for this rule that we need to remember here. So we'll subtract 2 from both sides. We get 3x is less than -6. And then we'll divide by 3. Because we divide by 3, we don't need to worry about flipping our symbol, so x is less than -2. fill in our number line, and we'll have an open circle on the -2 and to the left because the numbers to the left are less than, and our symbol also points to the left. Let's take a look at the next page. And let's look at problem number 12. Number 12 says x divided by -8 minus 5 is less than -2. So the first thing we're going to do is undo the addition or subtraction by adding 5 to both sides. We get x is divided by -8 is less than -2. And then because we're dividing, to undo, we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply by -8 on both sides. Because we multiplied by -8, we have to flip our symbol. These are going to cancel. X is greater than positive 16. Hopefully you caught my error on that, because I can see my error now that I'm looking back. -2 plus 5 is actually 3, so we should have gotten -24. Hopefully you caught that as I was doing that. And -24, then, if we were to work our number line, we have -24. Remember, the numbers to the right are smaller or larger. Numbers to the left are smaller. And we're going to have an open circle and the arrow pointing to the right. All right, let's take a look at number 15. Number 15 says 3 minus 4x is less than 31. Here we're going to subtract 3 because we have a positive 3. We have to subtract 3 to get to 0, so we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. Be very careful with that. That's going to leave me with -4x is less than 31 minus 3, so less than 28. Then we have to divide by -4 on both sides, which means that we're going to flip our symbol. We get x is greater than -7. So if we fill out our number line, we're going to have an open circle, and the numbers to the right are going to be greater than -7. Let's take a look at number 17. Number 17 says -5 6x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 14. First thing we're going to do is add 1, and we get -5 6x is greater than or equal to 14. And then we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, so -6/5. And that's going to leave us with x is less than or equal, because we have to flip our symbol, remember, since we multiplied by a negative, less than or equal to -18. If you need to show your work for your fraction, that's fine. And since it's less than or equal to, we're going to have a closed dot, and it's going to be to the left for less than or equal to. I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and you can work the remainder of the problems. And since there are several, we'll go over them tomorrow in class, and I'll give you the answers, and we'll make sure that we understand them before we do the homework.